Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Finance Channel. My name is Daniel, and today we will be analyzing Facebook stock, ticker symbol FB. In this video, I'm going to go through Facebook's financials, fundamentals, balance sheet, analyst expectations, etc. And make sure to stick around till the very end of the video where I give my buy targets for the stock. Now for a brief overview, Facebook is currently trading right around $290 a share at an $835 billion market cap. If you are new here, please make sure to subscribe to join the community and hit that like button as it really helps the channel out. If you have any ticker symbols that you want me to look at or have any questions just in general, make sure to drop them down in the comment section down below. I respond to all my comments, so I'll get back to you. Now, in this video, I'm going to pretty much cover, firstly, all of Facebook's products, and then I'm going to go more into like the financial side of Facebook. So we're going to cover things like Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, Oculus, Messenger, things along those lines, and then we'll get to the financial side. So their main product is Facebook. Facebook is pretty much social media. It is the largest social media product out there. Almost every single person that I know uses Facebook. And I mean, it is just an incredible platform that billions of people use around the world. Easy to use, and you can do many different things on it. You can post, you can watch videos, you can sell items on it, you can talk with your friends, you can create group chats, you can call. It is essentially social media. If you really don't know what Facebook is, I'd assume that you could probably just set up an account and try it for yourself just to get the gist of it. It is all free, and a majority of you already probably use Facebook, so there really isn't really an introduction needed for this. Now, Facebook, majority of Facebook's revenue is ads. This is how they monetize the platform. This is how they make money off of it. They run monetization. They run ads throughout the program so that when people are viewing it, while people are scrolling through posts or watching videos, they get ads every once in a while. And Facebook gets a portion of that money every time an ad is played, which, I mean, it's a brilliant business model because people are spending hours and hours on these products, and Facebook is just getting more and more money throughout different algorithms, advertisements, and things along those lines. But the main kind of gist for you to show this chart is 89.5% of Facebook's revenue is all advertisement. That is what it is right now. I think they're going to be able to expand in future years, but as of right now, it's pretty much all ads. Now, Facebook, this is an example of Facebook kind of transitioning away from that all advertisement-based revenue growth. So Facebook Marketplace, this is a place where companies or individuals can sell products directly on Facebook. So instead of having pretty much a link going from Facebook to a website where a user can buy products on that website, users can now pretty much buy products right on Facebook through Facebook Marketplace. And obviously Facebook takes a percentage fee from every transaction, which just benefits them greatly and pretty much ingrains people into this Facebook ecosystem, which we'll hear more about in a second here. Facebook just launched a dating kind of extension of Facebook. So now instead of using Tinder, you can just use Facebook. This is an example of Facebook continuously improving its product, adding to the product. And again, this is direct competition to Tinder, which is, the dating industry is huge. More and more people are using dating apps and actually finding people that they will be with for the rest of their lives through these dating apps. And it's incredible to see Facebook expanding into these different industries, and just shows how well they're adapting and how they continuously improve their products. So next up on the list, we have Instagram. Instagram is pretty much second to Facebook in terms of products. They target, essentially what Instagram does is it takes that Generation Z customer that has kind of started to slip away from Facebook or never really got into it and captures them into Instagram. Again, a lot of people that use Facebook use Instagram, and vice versa. It really is an ingrained ecosystem. You can also, again, post, direct message, watch videos, things along those lines. And it's a very... So next up on the list, we have Instagram. Instagram is essentially second to Facebook in terms of Facebook's businesses. They are essentially pretty much the same thing, where you have posts, you can DM people, direct message people, you can watch videos, you can shop with it. So next up on the list, we have Instagram. Instagram is essentially Facebook's second business, very similar to Facebook in the sense that you have posts, you have videos, you have direct messages, you have Facebook Shops, which is, again, a newer feature. And again, they run ads. And that's how they make a majority of their money. Now, I really recommend you downloading Instagram and experiencing it firsthand if you haven't. Again, in my opinion, the best way to understand a company's product is to actually experience it for yourself. So by experiencing Instagram or Facebook, for that matter, or any of Facebook's products, that is really the best way to understand their products to the fullest level. So Instagram has recently launched a direct TikTok competitor called Instagram Reels, which essentially is the same thing as TikTok, but it's a brilliant move by Instagram because it's taking a lot of that average minutes spent per day on from TikTok and putting it back into Instagram. And obviously Instagram runs ads on Instagram Reels, and it just shows how Instagram keeps improving, or Facebook rather, keeps improving Instagram to a higher and higher level. Now, this right here is a great example of Facebook continuing to improve Instagram and really make that Facebook ecosystem. They recently combined Instagram with Messenger. This is now a combined platform. I'll get to what Messenger is in a second, but it's essentially what Facebook used as their communication tool within the app, and they're really adding that into Instagram, and it shows how they're creating that ecosystem, right? Kind of what Apple is doing. Once you have an iPhone, you get an Apple Watch, you get a MacBook, you can't switch anymore. It's too difficult. With Facebook, once you're using Messenger, once you're using Facebook and Instagram, you're not going to switch to another platform because it's all connected together. And it's showing how Facebook continues to improve the Instagram product and continues to create a better experience. Now, here we have Messenger. Messenger is one of the best communication tools out there. It is, again, what Facebook and Instagram now use as their communication tools. And again, I know a lot of people that use these. A lot of people. You can call, you can text, you can voice call, you can send files. Like, you can do millions of different things on this app. And again, it shows all these different sectors that Facebook is in, not just one social media company, but another one here, another one here. They've got this tool here and another tool there. Things along those lines. Now, one of the last Facebook products I know they've got a lot is WhatsApp. WhatsApp is essentially a communication tool that you can use, pretty similar to Messenger, where you can talk to your friends, you can send files, you can call through the internet. All of this is through the internet. And there's another aspect called WhatsApp Business. Now, this is kind of where they're creating their money at this point, although it isn't really monetized yet. This is a communication tool used within businesses where you can transfer files, again, communicate amongst team members, things along those lines. Now, WhatsApp, the user growth is just incredible, just looking at this. In 2013, they started with 200 million monthly active users. That has now 10x'd. In 7 years, it has 10x'd to over 2 billion monthly active users. Now again, I have mentioned that they haven't really found a way to monetize this yet. Eventually they will. But just know that they have 2 billion users using this app that can be monetized at any point. With what method, we don't know. It might be advertising, or it might be right here. We have, they recently launched money transferring, where you can essentially send money to your friends directly in WhatsApp. You go to a concert, your friend buys you a ticket. You can pay them back right on WhatsApp. Those are essentially the two different ways that Facebook can go about monetizing the business, either through money transfer, which they are doing as of right now, or through monetization, which is ads, which I would find a little different. But again, I think of WhatsApp as the outlier of the bunch. I pretty much pair Facebook, Instagram, and Messenger together, and WhatsApp is kind of its own thing aside. Again, over 2 billion monthly active users. I think this is going to be one of the strongest, pretty much growing things, or pretty much one of the strongest drivers of revenue growth going forward as they continue to monetize this platform. So the last one of the bunch is Oculus. Oculus is essentially the leader in the virtual reality space. They have the headset where you put it on and you're in the game essentially. This is one of those very long-term growing points of Facebook. As of right now, they're using it as the virtual reality gaming thing. But I think the future, the next step from the iPhone will be augmented reality, which Mark Zuckerberg has talked about. And augmented reality is essentially you have a pair of glasses that do many different things and pretty much eliminate the need for a phone, for a cell phone. And with that, I think eventually as we get into this augmented reality type thing, Oculus is going to have their augmented reality. Apple's going to have augmented reality. That means I think in the future, long term, down the road, Facebook will be in direct competition with Apple. Again, this is very hypothetical. This is in my opinion. I believe that the augmented reality industry is set to boom. And again, Apple has recently announced that 2 years down the road, they're going to have their augmented reality glasses. Again, very early stages. Facebook as well is distributing them amongst their workers rather. And Oculus, the leader in the virtual reality space, I think Facebook is ready for this boom that is about to happen. Now, we've covered all the products. Now let's go through the statistics. Facebook monthly active users is currently right at 2.74 billion monthly active users. So an insane number. And it goes to show how Facebook is the leader in the social media space. And you can kind of see how it's divided. US and Canada, 255, Europe, 413, Asia and Pacific, over 1 billion, and the rest of the world is around 1 billion. Again, steady growth with this. I think this is going to continue to grow, but the main kind of revenue driver for Facebook is finding a way to consistently increase the dollar per user that they earn on a yearly basis. Now, Facebook, average revenue per user, this is what I was kind of talking about. You can see that the average revenue per user is much higher in the United States and Canada than anywhere in the world, essentially. Worldwide, it's currently sitting right around $8, not $8 a share, $8 a user in the United States and Canada, $40, Europe, $13, Asia and Pacific, $3.60, rest of world, $2.20. You can see just by this how high United States and Canada is. Again, if I had to put a reason on this, it's that there's more advertising going on in the United States and Canada than there is in other parts of the world. Major corporations are in the United States. You've got the Apples, you've got the Amazons, you've got the Microsofts spending billions of dollars a year advertising. Where are they advertising? They're advertising on Facebook because Facebook is the #1 player. So again, that's why I think United States and Canada is the highest revenue per user. But I think, again, these are major growth drivers or profit drivers for Facebook in the future as they continue to expand in Europe, Asia, rest of the world, and worldwide. Now, the revenue growth, again, you can see it's just been incredible revenue growth over the past few years here. Currently right around $21 billion as of Q3 of 2020. This was actually a few days ago they reported earnings. Very steady revenue growth overall for Facebook. Now the revenue by Facebook, user geography, you can kind of just get a sense of where Facebook's revenue is coming from. Again, a majority is coming from the United States of Canada, which is very interesting because the United States and Canada made up a very small portion of the general usage of Facebook. Let's go back here. See, United States and Canada. Look how small on the right here. Look what percentage that is of all of Facebook's users. Under 10% of Facebook monthly active users are from the United States and Canada. Yet, if we go over here, the United States and Canada make up almost 50% of Facebook's revenue. Now imagine if they can get the average revenue per user up to the United States and Canada levels for the rest of the world. Imagine how big of a growth driver or a profit driver or a revenue driver that is for Facebook going forwards. So here we have Facebook's expenses as a percentage of revenue. You can kind of get a sense of where they spend their money. And again, this is a very profitable business model. As we can see here, $8 billion in net income. Money going straight to them. in the past quarter. That's just incredible. And here we get a good sense of Facebook's revenue growth. You can see it's been growing very steadily and very quickly, let me add, over the past 4 years. But you can see how their income, although very high, has stayed kind of stagnant. You can kind of get a really good sense of how, through this graph rather, how it's really stayed flat. A lot of that is due to more capital expenditures, investing in other businesses, making acquisitions, and really improving the product of Facebook to reach out to more people. Again, Facebook, 10 years down the road, when they transition into a value company, 5 to 10 years, it's going to be able to recognize a lot of this revenue or a lot of this profit. Right now, they're using a lot of it to invest back into the business, which I really think is the right move. Now, here's their balance sheet. This might be one of the best balance sheets in the world. Total current assets, $66 billion in money they just have right now. They could spend that money whichever way they want. $66 billion. Total current liabilities, my face is covering this, it's at $12 billion. They could pay off all their debt, all their current debt, and still have over over $50 billion sitting in the bank ready to be used whenever they want, essentially. Total liabilities at $30 billion, and again, that's all long term, which honestly I'd expect Facebook to extend even further. Really not an issue, but still, even if they all their liabilities, if they paid off all of their liabilities, they'd still have over $30 billion. Over $35 billion sitting in the bank, ready to be used to make further acquisitions, to invest in the business, etc. Now, analysts currently expect Facebook to grow by 23% next year, around 19% this year. Just incredible numbers, given the fact that we're in the middle of a pandemic. We're in the middle of a pandemic, and their business is going to grow by 19%. Just incredible. This makes me wonder, is that number actually conservative? If they grew by 19% this year, is that number going to be closer to 25% next year? In my opinion, Facebook's revenue is going to be growing over 20% for the next 3 to 5 years. And again, that's a growth company. Even though Facebook is an $800 billion company, they're still a growth company. They've got top line revenue growth growing by over 20% over the next 3 to 5 years. Now here we have Facebook's valuation, $293 a share, at a forward PE of 28.2. I was really bummed out because I was planning on making this video earlier in the week when the stock was down at around $250 a share. At that point, the forward PE was under 25, and it was the cheapest FANG stock out there. FANG meaning Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, Google. It was pretty much essentially the cheapest one, yet with some of the highest top-line revenue projections. Now, the market has just gone crazy over the past few days. I couldn't explain it if you asked, but because of that, Facebook stock has gone up by 20% over the past couple of days, actually, and the forward PE has gone from under 25 to 28.2. So given that, my buy targets, I'm going to stick with that. $250 is a good buy target. $230 is a great target, in my opinion. If I'm going to start a position, I think $250 is a good place to start. But given that, I think Facebook is the FANG stock to own. Out of all of the different FANG stocks, out of all of big tech, I think Facebook is the best one out of the bunch. If I am going to own a giant tech company that I think is going to do very well in the future, I think I am going to pick Facebook because of, their massive user base, their consistent user base, their forward guidance, and how the company is going to continue to become more and more relevant going forwards. And again, if this stock dips back down there, I'm probably going to start a position in it. But I am a big fan of slowly nibbling in, starting a position wherever the stock price is, and wherever it dips going forward, slowly adding on to that position. Now, again, I like Facebook. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I hope you all have a great day. Make sure to subscribe.